And next, we'd like to welcome onto stage Ms. Heidi Kessler. She's the Deputy Director of the Global Child Nutrition Foundation. She's traveling all the way from the United States to be with us here in person. She is the spearhead with key projects at this organization with the mission of ensuring that governments and their partners have the knowledge, tools, and connections that they need to implement high-quality school meal programs. And she's going to share with us about fortification and school meal programs, global data, opportunities, and concerns.
Xin chào. Thank you very much. It is my honor and pleasure to stand before you today. I'm going to try to speak slowly in order for the interpreters to be able to keep up. I would like to express my gratitude to the IFC for organizing this event and the tremendous effort that went in to arrange this in such a short amount of time. I have learned so much this morning, and I hope I can impart some wisdom with each of you as well. So most of my presentation today is going to be based on the Global Child Nutrition Foundation's global survey of school meal programs. The global survey, made possible in part by the United States Department of Agriculture and the Rockefeller Foundation, is the first successful attempt to collect standardized information on school meal programs directly from governments on a regular basis. Our first data collection round collected information on the school year 2017. Our second data collection round collected information on school year 2020, what we call the COVID year. And we are currently collecting data right now, which will reflect the 2022 school year. We will begin to be able to see trends over time. This data is freely available as a public good to the world. Please see the website where you can access the data. "155 countries, covering 87% of the world's population, have already participated in the global survey of school meal programs. We hope for even more during this current data collection round. So let's talk about the opportunity that school meals provide. School meals present a large and predictable market for nutritious food. They are found all over the world. They support children during important physical and mental development, and they are popular with students, with families, and with politicians. They present a real opportunity for food fortification efforts. We know from the global survey that at least 330 million children receive food through school feeding programs in 2020. The cost of these programs exceeded $35 billion US, and we believe these numbers to be low estimates. There is room for these programs to grow. In fact, only 27% of all school-aged children receive food through a school meal program. Predictably, coverage is highest at the primary school level and in wealthier countries. We know that countries are taking school meal programs seriously. They are enshrining school meal programs into their national laws, policies, and standards. In fact, 27% of countries say that they have laws, policies, or standards for nutrition that are directly linked to their school meal programs. National policies, laws, and standards around school feeding form a supportive structure to steer school meal programs in a positive direction. Nearly all, more than 90% of school meal programs have an explicit nutrition and health objective. Many, 63%, report that they involve nutritionists in their school meal program, and 40% indicate that they make some effort to provide nutrition training to the cooks and caterers providing school meals. It's a strong start, but there's room to improve. In this slide, we look at fortification, biofortification, and micronutrient supplementation in school meal programs. So let's look at this. We can see more than 3/4, of programs in sub-Saharan Africa are using fortified foods. In fact, low-income settings are the most likely to report using fortified foods. We believe this is due to the heavy emphasis on fortification from donors such as the United States, as well as implementing partners such as the World Food Program, who want to ensure that they're delivering nutrition as well as calories to as many children as possible for the lowest cost possible. And for these programs, delivering fortified stapled grains can be a cost-effective path. We also suspect, and are working to verify this, that in addition to fortified grains, milk is also responsible for a significant portion of the fortification reported in middle-income and high-income settings. We note that it is likely that fortification is probably underreported in cases where processed and ultra-processed foods are used, as it is less common to distinguish and report fortification in foods that have multiple ingredients. Here we can see a list of the top 10 most common fortificants found in school meal programs. Of course, vitamin A, iodine, and iron. Once again, we have a strong start. There is room for improvement. Okay, let us now turn to some of the challenges or concerns that we must think about if we're going to leverage school meal programs for fortification efforts. Food basket diversity, diet diversity, is very important to child health and nutrition, but it is very challenging to achieve in low and middle income settings. As you can see in the top left graph, we see that the diversity of school meal programs increases as economies become stronger. In the blue section of this slide, we look at just 2 food groups and can see the dramatic differences between low income and high income settings. Fruits are found in 22.5% of programs in low income settings, but 97% of programs in high income settings, demonstrating a wide differential. We of course note that fortification alone is not enough. A pill will not satisfy a child's hungry stomach, and fortification alone does not directly contribute to a diverse diet. Let's look a little bit more closely at school milk. Other than water, school milk is the single most popular drink used in schools. Milk is naturally nutrient dense and is commonly fortified. It has many healthful properties in addition to being hydrating. But milk can be relatively expensive and have a relatively short shelf life. To ensure its safety, it must be treated and hygienically packaged. Livestock production and packaging have environmental impacts. Fluid milk is expensive to transport and store, and lactose intolerance is a problem in some populations. Also of potential concern is the increasingly common practice of adding sugar and flavors to milk. Moving from school milk, let's look at the infrastructure which schools have to work with in implementing school meal programs. The slide might be a little hard to see, but essentially it's outlining a pretty weak infrastructure in our school systems. When we look at low and lower middle income countries, the picture is not good. Whether we're talking about electricity, clean water, flush toilets, kitchens, or cafeterias. On one hand, this provides a strong argument for getting a few fortified food items, especially the staples, into these schools. But on the other hand, where school conditions are challenging, it is also likely to be challenging to find conditions conducive to local fortification and business development. With infrastructure conditions like this, food safety is a greater concern. And of course, as has already been discussed, we have to be concerned about food safety and fortification. Women present both an opportunity and a concern. Just as in the case in households, nearly all cooks and food handlers are women. This presents an opportunity to involve them in fortification and related activities, to employ, to train, to promote, and to improve the status of women. But we must caution about using this opportunity to further exploit women. However, too many women working in school meal programs serve without payment or only receive minimum or sporadic payment. We also note that youth and young adults are struggling with unemployment. This is of high concern, especially in low and middle income countries. There is a real opportunity for school meal program fortification to be structured to employ youth, young adults, and women. A great deal of money is spent on school feeding programs. They are popular and predictable markets for food. But of course, the investment varies widely. The range is between $18 in lower middle income countries to $400 in high income countries. Of course, we're only seeing the high income countries contributing more than $100 per child per year. I leave you with a significant challenge that we mustn't overlook. Nearly half of school meal programs report that they have inadequate funding. Therefore, any additional expense might be problematic. Even a fractional additional cost for fortification may mean less children being fed. This is a collective challenge for us to innovate, to be creative, and to be practical about how we address this. After reviewing some of the opportunities and challenges of fortification in school meal programs, I'd like to leave you with a few invitations. GCNF, Global Child Nutrition Foundation, is a collaborative organization. We wish to work with you on technical workshops, webinars, studies, and consultancies. We wish to invite you to our Global Child Nutrition Forum, which will be held in Osaka, Japan, December 9th through 12th, where governments of the world will gather with their partners for 4 days of discussing the challenges of implementing high-quality school meal programs. Please join our newsletter on our website. Please access our data, conduct secondary analyses, Continue to work with it and uncover what you can. And most importantly, we look forward to working together to make sure that children, their families, and their communities have the opportunity to thrive. Thank you for your time and attention. It has been an honor.